Hey, I'm Alex Ratcliffe from Board Game Co, and today we're doing the month in review for December 2023. A new year is upon us, but we're still looking back at the last one, and today we're going to be going through a bunch of the usual thing from our board game stats for December, from, the favorite videos I have, favorite videos on my channel, favorite videos on other channels, best new-to-me games, game highlights in general, disappointments, all those things and more, and of course, links and timestamps to everything, well, more timestamps to everything down below. I guess links too. I usually do link to the other videos on other channels, and even the videos on my channel. Links and timestamps down below. Anyways, let's go and start this off, starting off with board game stats. I have 153 games played in December, and again, as usual, games played means sessions, not individual unique games. I've played 61 different games, and 33 of them were new to me. So those are my overall stats, and that brings December back up. November was a down month with only 102 games, the lowest month this year, and December brings us to, I don't know, I have like 2,300 plays or something. I have over 2,000 plays logged total in total for 2023, but maybe I'll do a year end video or something. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, this is about December. So December, I have 153 games played, 61 total, 33 new to me, an H index of 6. That means at least 6 games are played at least 6 times. And to that end, as far as the heavy hitters, the bug flying around me over here, as far as the heavy hitters, the ones played the most this month, we have Trio coming in with 22 plays this month. My kids have taken to Trio like there's no tomorrow, and every week they are asking to play that game again and again and again. So I got a bunch of plays in at PAX Unplugged, and then proceeded to play with some friends, and then proceeded to play with my kids, and my kids, and my kids, and my kids again and again and again. We have 8 plays of Unbox. It's a little bit of a mystery, not mystery, a deduction escape room style game that's going to be coming to you from WizKids. I will have coverage on that in a roundup video, but that's going to be Unboxed. Got an 8 plays of that. 7 plays of Cheating Moth, a small little game from Devere Games. Just getting in a bunch of, it's a quick and easy one to table. In general, more often than not, the games that manage to get 22 plays, 8 plays, or 7 plays in a month, those are usually going to be faster, smaller games. Although there are months where I've gotten 10 plays of Lost Ruins of Arnak. And Castle of Burgundy, I've played 86 times this year, which is not bad at all. But anyways, that's a different video. So Clover, got in 6 plays of So Clover, and I got in we got Cheating Moth 7 plays, we got Chomp, Isla, and So Clover, 6 plays of each of those, and then Arnak coming in with 5 plays this month. So overall, not a bad month as far as games played and all that stuff. That's going to be a much better step up from November, which was my lowest month this year. From there, we're going to my favorite videos. These are going to be my favorite videos on other people's channels first. So basically, videos I've seen across the board game space, usually the board game space, that I want to talk about, starting off, and these are ranked from least to most over here, but coming in at number 5, we have King of Average doing a Warrior board games worth the cost. This is a video he did on his channel that kind of mirrors my thoughts of how things have changed for me as well, which is basically just he's noticed that more and more large big box games are not sticking around as long as they used to. They're coming in, they're being looked at, they're sometimes being played, sometimes being immediately sold or traded. There's more and more a cycle of just the newest thing coming in and then leaving rather quickly. It's a trend that I've noticed as well with my own collection, that there are always going to be games that come in and games that come out, but some of the bigger box experiences, I don't feel I'm getting as much out of them before they leave, which is one of the reasons my spending has decreased dramatically in 2023 on crowdfunded games, for a combination of factors, but one of them being that I've noticed that rotation is happening a little bit more often, in general cutting costs and trying to be more conservative, whole bunch of things going on, but yeah, his video mirrored my own thoughts, which is why I appreciate it very much. Coming in at number 4, we have Shelf Clutter, basically doing a Patreon exposed video. Shelf Clutter did a video on his channel talking about the nature of Patreon's hidden costs, that they come in and they tell you it's an 8% cost, but by the time they throw in all the extra fees, you're usually paying closer to 15 to 20% on their various fees and structures, which is just a little bit ridiculous. It's something I've noticed myself as well, that they say 8% and then it's not actually by the time you're done. And it's not to say that they're lying to you. They're not. They're just obfuscating all the various costs within different things. It's 8%, but there's also transaction fees, and there's also a fee, and a fee for the fee, and a lower cost fee, and a fee for the fee. So there's a whole bunch of things that add up. He basically did a whole video of that. It's one of the reasons that when I did my recent, support drive for the channel, probably still ongoing. It may or may not still be ongoing. I'll link to it down below, but it may or may not still be ongoing as far as when this video is up on the channel. But I did a support drive for the channel with some giveaways as well. Free to enter for the giveaways. although you do get more entries if you do donate to help support the channel. But basically one of the things I did is I did a push for moving over to Ko-Fi, and part of it was, while I had noticed some of the Patreon shenanigans in the past, Shelf Clutter's deep dive into it was incredibly helpful and incredibly educational and incredibly well done. He kind of did a full deep dive on what for me was a back of my mind feeling that I'd kind of looked at and noticed and then moved on with my life. So it's going to be Shelf Clutter coming in with a Patreon exposed video. Now, number 3, we have Tim Choon doing his top 5 games of all time. Fantastic video, not least of which because of his editing and also because Aquatica's in there, and I just approve of anyone who puts Aquatica in their top 5 games of all time. At number 2, we have Board Game Dad doing Is AI a Threat to the Board Game Hobby? This is a video doing a bit of an explanation of the nature of AI, when and how it is a threat. It does seem to come with the bias of it being less of a threat, which does match my own thoughts to a degree, meaning not to minimize the impact of AI. Well, it's complicated. Basically, life's complicated. I shouldn't have gotten into the AI debate. Ignore everything I said about AI. Ignore everything I said. Board Game Dad did a good video on AI. I really should do a full video on AI at some point. The problem is I don't want to do it from my stance because I want to do it with somebody. I want to have a conversation with somebody who's for AI so I can really cover both sides because, for who's against AI, because I'm kind of more in the middle. I'm not really for it, but I'm also not really against it either. And I find many people are very, very, very strongly against it. And I've tried talking to people and haven't had my mind strongly changed. Again, not to minimize the impact it has, but just because something has an impact that can be negative doesn't mean there's also non-impact that's good. I'm kind of want to start this whole video again, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to move on. We're going to move on to the next video, the best video of the month. The best video of the month was Jeffrey Kornberg, The Dragon's Tomb, did a video on PAX Unplugged coverage. Highly recommend checking it out. The Dragon's Tomb's videos are always fantastic, and he did a video on PAX Unplugged, just covering the hall and all of those things. And with that, let's move to the best new games of the month. Best new games of the month, as usual, ranked 5 down to 1, so the best 5 new games over here. Coming in at number 5, we have River Valley Glassworks. Played this a few times at PAX Unplugged. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to have more coverage when it comes to the channel, well, soon at some point. We're going to have more coverage on that game at some point. We have March of the Century coming in at number 4 from Capstone Games. It's going to be a chess simulation, so it kind of simulates a chess, it kind of simulates a chess match, but not actually chess, just very, very different, just, chess themed, so to speak. But I really like the 2-person tug-of-war that is Match of the Century. Coming at number 3, we have Run from Fowers Games, a 2-player hidden movement game in the vein of mind management, but very different thing. It's going to be Run. Highly recommend checking that one out at number 3. At number 2, we have Creature Caravan. Creature Caravan, I had a chance to play this at PAX Unplugged. Only have a single play in it, but hence the new games part. But I think Creature Caravan is fantastic, and really looking forward to that one. I thought it was really, really well done. And then finally, coming in at number 1, we have Sankori from Osprey Games, which really took me by surprise. In fact, it's a game I almost gave up on, but as I continue to play it, I've enjoyed it more and more and more. I think Sankori is fantastic. And that's going to be our best new games of the month. For our disappointments, on the other hand, disappointments, as usual, I don't specifically have 5. I do whatever is the right number. I don't try to find disappointments. It just is what it is. But coming in at, and these are not ranked in a particular order, but coming in at number 3, we have Sail. Sail from Allplay. I was really looking forward to a 2-player cooperative trick-taking game. I was like, yay, the crew, but, for 2 players. I don't love Sail. I thought it was a little finicky. I'll have full review coverage on it more. I do want to play the expansion first, so this is pre-expansion thoughts and opinions. But I thought Sail just didn't feel rewarding as I played through it. It felt like it was a game of trying to figure out how to get the right cards in your hand, but I never felt like they were fun, strong plays. I just felt like you were doing the things that were semi-optimal, but not really having fun along the way. That was like, I was really let down by that one. I was hoping for more from it, and it didn't work for me. I'm glad it is working for others, just not for me. At number 2, we have Time Division. Time Division from Heidelberg Games. I was looking forward to this one. I thought it sounded like a fun premise, sounded like, air, land, and sea, but, different. And it is different. It has good gameplay in it, in my opinion, but it's too obfuscated by just bad iconography that makes it very hard to really get a good sense of what you're doing as you do it. I think it's the kind of game that benefits from playing it 15 times, and that's too many plays to get under your belt to really have a good sense of the system. So Time Division does some things well, not for me, unfortunately. And then coming at number 1 over here, we have Roll for Great Old Ones. That's one I was really looking forward to. I backed that one. I thought it was a fun little print and play. I thought it was a fun little roll and write with a Cthulhu theme and a degree of, pushing your insanity. It has that aspect as you go insane, you get extra perks. Ultimately, I felt way too much by the numbers, and the boxes that you filled out as you played were tiny, like too tiny. So there were usability issues come out with a game that just wasn't impressing me overall. I was really looking forward to it, and sadly, it did not deliver. And to be clear, all 3 of these, I mean, I don't know. Ratings games are always interesting, but like, for me, disappointments are more about expectations. So from these, I think Roll for Great Old Ones probably is my favorite, but it's also the one I was most looking forward to, so it's definitely still in the disappointment range. Then coming in at the favorite videos of mine on the channel. These are the videos on the channel that I like the most, the ones I recommend if you haven't had a chance to check out all of the 15 videos a week I put up, which makes sense, who does? But if you want to check out a handful of videos that I do recommend, going in at number 5 over here, we have 15 campaigns I'm most looking forward to delivering in 2024. This is a look at, well, basically 2 years of crowdfunding and talking about the games that I think are most looking for, the ones I'm most excited about delivering in 2024. I will say someone said that Cyclades does not look like it's delivering, so I'm going to replace that one with Cthulhu Death May Die Fear of the Unknown, which I forgot about and did not include on the list. So those are going to be the 2 games we have as far as, that's going to be the first list, 15 campaign games with Cthulhu Death May Die replacing Cyclades. Then coming at number 4, we have State of the Channel. I did a yearly State of the Channel video. I say yearly, but it's the first time I did it. But going forward, I'm going to be doing a State of the Channel video every year. I think I'm going to try to iterate and revise and adjust upon it, but it's a bunch of things, talking about, you know, the way I handle paid content, the way I handle other content, the iteration and changes along the way, what I hope to add in the next year. It's going to be just a general, here are things to know as a viewer who's new to the channel, and here are things that have happened and will continue to happen. Kind of just a general look back, look forward, and overall status update that I think is a useful thing to do at least once a year. Then coming out at number 3, we have 14 games I went all in on and shouldn't have. This is an interesting conversation about the nature of, I did 2 videos, one was last month and this one is this month. One was the ones that I went all in on and I'm happy I did, and the other is the ones I probably shouldn't have. And I think it's interesting because I don't know if I'm going to learn anything from this experience. In fact, some of these games I talk about how I'm still very happy I have it all. I just shouldn't have, because I'm not benefiting from that content. I'm literally just exchanging money for the security blanket of knowing I have everything for a game I love. Which has merit, I guess, but I don't think it's great merit. It has some small aspect of merit to it. But yeah, it's an interesting video to watch about the nature of what is and isn't worth paying for. Then we have coming in at number 2, my second favorite video of the month is going to be my top 100 series in general. Started doing the top 100. I usually am a huge fan of doing the top 100 or any top 10 list because I think that it kind of elevates past Cult of the Now, or at least it's still impacted by Cult of the Now, but significantly less so. It's not about, hey, this game's great, this game's great, this game's great, and then you don't care about them anymore 2 weeks from now. It's talking about the games that are standing the test of time. 51 games on my top 100 have stood still, have been consistent from 2019 to 2020, 2021, no, 2020, 2021, and 2022. There are 51 games that have been consistent along the way. 2019, I only did a top 20 games of all time, so I don't have the full breadth of everything. But yeah, as far as top 100s, 51 games have stood strong across those three years, and we'll see how many of those last in 2023. It's just an interesting conversation to see what really holds firm and what is actually, you know, just currently a flash of the pan goodness. Then we have over here, and then my favorite video of the month is going to be my biggest surprises. My biggest surprise of 2023. I also did a video on my biggest disappointments 2023. Those are always a little less fun to me. I find I prefer positivity to negativity. I still do cover negativity, but I prefer positivity, and I thought that I enjoyed doing my biggest surprises. So if you're interested in some of the games that I was not expecting much from, but did surprise me in 2023, that's a good video to check out. And with that, lastly, we go to, well, not lastly, the next category we have is the crowdfunding highlights of the month. This is where I pick 5 games that are the my favorite crowdfunding games of the month, the ones I'm most looking forward to, excited about all of that, and I have one. I just have one. December was a light month. I couldn't find 5 if I was trying. The only game I have for you for December is going to be Moonrollers. Moonrollers from Ivy Games. Nothing else. And someone might be like, what about Nemesis? I'm not a huge Nemesis fan. I'm not against Nemesis, but I'm not backing Nemesis Retaliation. So, like, I'm not as excited about that one. And so, you know, it's not a bad game. It's a good game. I'm not as sucked into Nemesis as many people are. I'm more in the Zombicide side of things. I do like Awake Realms games. Stalker was pretty awesome. Many other games, Great Wall's awesome, but not Nemesis. So yeah, Moonrollers. Moonrollers is my only campaign highlight for the month of December. Which brings us to the highlights of the month. These are just the best games I've played, the things that stood out to me in some way, shape, or form, the things that I'm most happy about that don't include new games because I already covered those. So to that end, I guess they mostly don't include new games. But coming at number 5, we have Mage Knight. Got a chance to play Mage Knight several times this month. I have this big box I'm trying to review over here. I don't know if I'm going to be playing all the expansion stuff before reviewing it, although mixing in expansion tokens is easy, but playing with some of the extra expansion content is a little harder. I might be trying to just get a few more plays in and then covering on the channel, but I don't know if I'm going to specifically cover all the expansions. I might save that for like a down-the-road expansion review if I ever do, but I don't want to hold off too long, and honestly, I've had Mage Knight in my collection for years. It's about time I did some sort of dedicated coverage on it, but Mage Knight is awesome. It continues to be fun every time I actually pull it out and play it. So Mage Knight is going to be my number 5 as far as best general highlights of the month. Coming at number 4, we have Dante. Dante over here. This one had a chance to play it again. Still need to continue to play this one, but I'm really enjoying Dante so far as what it's doing. So, yeah, if you're interested in another dungeon crawler, it's going to be a big box expansions and stuff and things you don't need everything for. Follow the campaign over on GameFound for a ton of things you probably don't need, but a core box that may well be worth going and adding to your collection. Dante is so far fantastic from what I've seen of it. Coming at number 3, we have Nana/Trio over here. This one over here, just always a good time, but the fact that this has been pulled out and requested by my kids every single week. It's not like one that I'm like, hey, I show you a game and they play that. I do that all the time. I'll show them a game, they'll enjoy it, and great. The amount of times they request games, they don't often request the same game again and again and again, and so I'm very happy with how Trio is done. 22 plays, of which, like, I don't know, 17 of those or 16 of those with my kids, so, yeah, I'm happy with that one. Coming at number 2, we have So Clover. I got in a bunch of plays of So Clover, like I mentioned already. I think it was 6 plays this past month, but So Clover is just consistently fun. I enjoy the puzzle of how So Clover operates, and I also enjoy the fact that it operates great at 3 players, which is usually a tough spot for me. If I have 2 players, I'll play Codenames Duet. If I have 4 players, I'll play Decrypto, or Codenames, or so many things, or just one. So Clover, I find, fills that nice 3-player spot very well if you want that kind of game, but at a lower player count, although it also does work at 4, 5, and 6 players as well, so you can enjoy it at a variety of player counts. But So Clover is my number 2 pick, and my number 1 pick for best game of the month in general is going to be Cthulhu Death May Die, which has been like 6 months since I played it last, and I'm so happy to get it back to the table. I got it back to the table this month, and I really enjoy that game. It is so much fun. It's consistently got one of the best powering up, leveling up systems in general. I have a ton of fun with it, and I'm hoping we can table it again, well, sooner rather than later. In any case, and until next time, that has been your December month in review. I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.